Well, if that doesn't set your toes a-tapping, I sure don't know what will. We heard music which takes as its point of departure the hoedown from Aaron Copland's Rodeo, performed live in our Dana Performance Studio by violinist Zach DePue and on the guitar Alex DePue, two of the DePue brothers. Good morning and welcome to Live from FM 91, conversation and performance with some of the area's finest musicians and visiting guest artists. Coming to you live from WGTE's Dana Performance Studio, I'm Brad Cresswell. Alex DePue and Zach DePue here with me, as I mentioned, and they have a Christmas spectacular which is coming up on Friday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m. at Kobacker Hall at Bowling Green State University's Moore Musical Arts Center. As I understand it, they've released tickets for a 2 o'clock matinee on the same day. So, very popular event. I would urge each and every one of you to take advantage because the DePue brothers are pretty well known in this area, but they don't get back here all that often. So it's really wonderful that they were able to come in and join us and preview this holiday spectacular for us. Zach, you're sitting on the microphone. I want to welcome you. Hello.
Brad, how are you? Good to be with you.
Very well, thanks. Now, two of the DePue brothers are here. I know there are more. How many DePues are there?
There are 4 total. The oldest, Wallace Jr., Dr. Wallace DePue Jr. We like to make sure
in case he's listening. We don't want an irate phone call.
We do not want an irate phone call from him. Alex, who you just heard playing on guitar, who actually broke a string during that performance.
I wonder what he's doing over there.
In measure 1, he broke a string, so it's quite an exciting morning for us.
It's not art unless you break a string.
It's not art, and I love that. I'll have to remember that one. The third brother, Jason, and then myself. I'm the youngest of the 4 of us, and we grew up right here in Northwest Ohio, Bowling Green, Toledo area.
You all grew up together? Musical family, obviously.
Musical family. Music is actually sort of what brought us together on a daily basis. You know, most families get together for dinner and for meals, but we got together to play music, and it was, and it continues to be a sort of the center point around us getting together.
Well, you're still getting together for music.
Yeah, we do. This holiday concert here in Northwest Ohio at Kobacker and Bowling Green is something special for us to get to come back and see people that we know. And new faces as well, and share in the season with families and friends.
Well, I know that Alex is going to play some other instruments, or at least piano, a little bit later on in the show today. And we also have Aria Curzon here to sing for us, which is going to be fun. Yes. That piece that we just heard, the Aaron Copland piece, but it's not really Copland.
It's actually an original by Alex. What's the name of the composer that wrote?
I think he's got all
Bonaparte's
of his...
Retreat.
Yes, William Stepp is the original composer of that.
Why don't you come around? Go ahead and come around and have a seat. There you go. Alex has got his guitar in tow after having restringed it.
I think I just beat the world record for a string change just now, but yes. It's
it looks like you're using your hotel key for a pick there.
That's
what is
exactly right. You got to improvise sometimes. Yeah. But this piece... attributed to Aaron Copland, after a little bit of research, you'll come to find out that it was originally written in the, I think, 1800s.
Really?
And it's actually William Stepp was the fiddler of the day back then. And Aaron's rendition, arrangement of that tune is pretty much note for note intact the way it was originally written back then.
Wow, you heard it here. Musical scandals.
Well, what did Stravinsky say? Good composers borrow, great composers steal.
Exactly.
Stravinsky.
Yeah,
exactly. I steal as often as I possibly can. Well, again, this concert is happening Friday, December 21st. 2 performances right now. There's a 2 o'clock matinee. If folks want to, if they have other plans Friday evening, they can come in the afternoon. And in the evening at 7:30 p.m., Friday, December 21st. If people are interested in learning more, where do they go? What do they do?
It's very easy. You just go to Facebook and search DePue Brothers Band.
Okay.
And really, the rest should take care of itself through just a couple more clicks, and you'll end up at the Eventbrite page. And there, mind you, there are about 100 tickets left for the evening show. So don't give up hope. Go ahead if you're interested in that evening show and get your tickets as soon as you can. There's still great seats. There isn't a bad seat in that house.
Well, that's as of today when we're doing the live show. When we rebroadcast this, there will probably be fewer tickets even left.
It probably be sold out by then. But the matinee just got released, so hopefully there'll be seats.
Well, you can add a morning show. Why not? We're doing a morning show now. This is kind of the morning warm-up, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you sounded great just now, by the way, Zach. I'm sorry about that guitar. Of course it's going to happen on live radio.
Yeah, but it still sounded great. I wouldn't have noticed had I not seen, a string flying around over there. But,
Okay, good.
I'm sure listeners on the radio wouldn't notice, except for we told them all about it.
I see.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault.
That's okay. Let's hear some more music. What do you guys got for us next?
We have an arrangement of violin and guitar, again, of beautiful melody, Green Sleeves, which has been adapted to the holidays many times over, most notably as What Child Is This?
Okay. Violinist Zach DePue, along with guitarist Alex DePue, two of the DePue brothers, performing part of their holiday spectacular music right here on Live from FM 91. Just a lovely performance of that traditional melody, Green Sleeves, live in our Dana Performance Studio. Guitarist Alex DePue, violinist Zach DePue. They are putting on a DePue Holiday Spectacular, DePue Brothers, I should say. That's Friday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m. And at 2 o'clock p.m. there's a matinee. Kobacker Hall, down at Bowling Green State University in the Moore Musical Arts Center. I'm looking over at Alex. You didn't break another string, did you? No?
Nope.
Okay.
No string broken on that one.
No strings broken on that one. That wasn't quite as energetic, shall we say, as the other one. So you didn't run the risk of breaking a string.
Yeah, but now I have to rely on my left hand.
Yeah?
Which is just as
You didn't break your right hand, did you? But you'll use both hands when you go up to the piano.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love to hear, by the way, you introduce me as guitarist to Alex DePue. I love it. I've never
Well,
been
I mean,
introduced.
I was going to get to this, but you were a multi-instrumentalist.
I am. Yeah, of course I began on the violin, and I've been playing for 42 years now. So.
Wow. And you're only 43. That's amazing. But now, I was going to say that if folks are interested, as you mentioned, they can Google the DePue Brothers. It's DePue Brothers, and they're going to get a whole slew of results that come up there, because you guys are pretty well known in your respective fields. Alex, I know you have like 2 or 3 billion likes on your Facebook page. And,
I appreciate that.
yeah, I won't delve into your biographies here on the radio, because people can certainly Google you guys and find out a lot of information. But suffice it to say, it's great to have you here in the studio.
Oh, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you. Now, you grew up in a musical family in Bowling Green. Your dad, a composer and a professor at Bowling Green State University. Was it just a given that you all were going to be professional musicians?
Goodness, I think that it was somewhat accidental. The first brother, Dad started out on the violin to help with hand-eye coordination of all things.
Yeah.
He had somewhat underdeveloped motor skills, and the violin really gave him an avenue to hone in his hand-eye coordination. And then really it became a monkey see, monkey do type situation.
Some people hand down their clothes. You were handing down violins.
That's exactly right. Dad had the quarter size, the eighth size, quarter size, all of them lined up, and each one of us played right down the row as we grew up. And certainly, as came to the younger boys, repertoire and the violin repertoire was sort of in my ear by the time I was 5 years old. I had Brook Concerto in my head. I'd been listening to these guys play through some of the standard repertoire, so it was almost stupid for me not to start playing the violin.
Well, Zachary's first performance with the DePue family musicians, as we were called back then, was just absolutely priceless. He was 6 years old, and he joined the rest of the team for the first time on stage. Kobacher Hall, as a matter of fact, was his
You're
very
making
first,
a return appearance.
looking around until he finally got direction from the oldest brother that we're going to begin the Handel beret.
I think you need to reenact this on the concert.
That's a great idea.
Unless we can find it on YouTube. I mean, was it videotaped? You see all these famous violinists with videos of them when they were 3 and 4 years old playing.
Sure. It's part of the documentary, actually, that PBS did on the family. There's a snippet in there where Dad introduces me, my first time ever with the family. We walk out. They walk me out, and the 3 brothers bow, and I actually, instead of bowing, look up at my brother like, what am I supposed to do? I see that they're bowing, and so with my head tilted up at him, I sort of give a half bow to the
like
audience.
how you call it the family, sort of the violin mafia you've got going on there.
Well, it certainly was quite a great experience at that age. You walk out on stage and you see all those people looking at you at that age. It could be very scary, but it did seem very secure having your 3 older brothers.
You were more
there.
at home on stage than you were off.
Very comfortable place.
I was going to say, it didn't turn you off of performing by any means.
Not at all.
Well, speaking of performing, let's get back to some music. What do we have next?
This is, and mind you, these pieces we're playing today are we've rearranged for just the 2 of us, but there's with the DePue Brothers Band, there's another guitar, banjo, drums, and bass in addition to the 4 of us playing. Wow. Jason plays mandolin. Alex, as you're already discovering, plays guitar and piano. But this piece is actually set for violin and piano. One of the arrangements is for violin and piano of Bach-Gounod's Ave Maria, which we will play on the holiday show with additional musicians, but this will be just the 2 of us.
Okay, great. Violinist Zach DePue and pianist Alex DePue performing for us now here on Live from FM 91. I love watching the two of you playing together and sort of communicating across the room. Should be said, playing without any music there together. I imagine you've been doing this for quite some time now. We heard the Bach Gounod Ave Maria. Gounod's setting of the Ave Maria above the well-tempered clavier, Prelude number 1 of Johann Sebastian Bach. That was played by Alex DePue, while the Gounod Ave Maria part was played by Zach DePue.
It's funny you say that, because that we had never played that before together until just now.
Wow. Well, you shouldn't have said anything. Here I was.
You keep saying that.
I thought you guys were communicating rather handily there.
It's actually always the oldest brother that plays the main violin part for this.
Yes.
Alex Wallace.
Zachary has officially stolen that part.
Dr. Wallace.
Dr. Wallace, yes.
Dr. Wallace.
He has officially been relieved of his duties on that one now.
Well, I saw you sort of look up in the air over in Alex's direction as, what should you do now? And so...
Yeah, well...
Getting back to your very first concert.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
I'm always looking for help.
I ought to call you Dr. Zach from now on.
Well, I guess I would need a bachelor's degree to get to that point, but that'll be all right.
Wow. Performance experience counts. Yeah.
There's a lot of that in there.
So you guys are performing the Holiday Spectacular December 21st. That's a Friday evening, 7:30 p.m. and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Kobacker Hall at the BGSU Moore Musical Arts Center. I think it's pretty obvious to people who have heard. I mean, you grew up with a very classical pedigree, but you sort of venture out into different styles of music making. You want to talk a little bit about that? I've heard the term grassical associated with you.
Yes, that's correct. So as you might imagine, that is the merging of two different forms of music known as bluegrass and, of course, classical. This is a term that our oldest brother, Dr. Wallace DePue Jr., did coin and registered with the Library of Congress.
Wow.
Even he believed in it that much. And really, I believe that our act is the only representation that we could really count on in demonstrating this genre, if you will, of music. It's very contagious.
Do you do your own arrangements then of everything, or is some of it improv? How does it work?
A little of both. Not even most. I'd say a good 50% of it is scored and written and arranged, and then there is the element of improvisation which exists throughout and on top of those arrangements.
Yeah. Give us a sense of what we're going to hear at the concert. It's, I know, a very family-friendly event, which is great at Christmas time. What kind of music are we going to hear?
Very eclectic.
Yeah.
Just as you're experiencing today. This is again, like that Ave Maria is as beautiful as music gets, in my opinion. And that's, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but that will be on the program.
Yeah.
Pretty much just as you heard it, except with 3 more violins supporting some additional harmonies there. It's absolutely gorgeous, ethereal music there. All the way to jazz, all the way to a little bit of rock and roll and swing, and then, of course, bluegrass. We should mention some of these guys that we've got with us. We've got International Bluegrass Music Association's Banjo Player of the Year on banjo. His name's Mike Munford. Also joining us is Mark Cosgrove, 1995 flat-picking champion of the world. And then we've got Don Liuzzi on drums. He is currently the principal timpanist with the Philadelphia Orchestra. He's also the band's manager and wonderful at that job. And then, of course, on the double bass, we've got Kevin McConnell from New York City.
Wow. Well, sounds quite a lineup.
We could give you a little taste of maybe some of that jazz feel. We have a small arrangement of Winter Wonderland that maybe we could share with your listeners.
All right.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
All right.
Jump on up there. Alex is going back to his guitar, I take it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Great. Alex DePue on guitar, Zach DePue on violin, performing a jazzy little version of Winter Wonderland here on Live from FM 91. Okay, I'm ready for a snowstorm now after hearing that. Maybe cuddle up to the fire. Winter Wonderland performed here in our Dana Performance Studio. Zachary DePue on violin, Alex DePue performing on guitar. And they are performing a holiday spectacular, the DePue Brothers, Friday, December 21st, 7:30 p.m. and 2 o'clock p.m., a matinee they've just added. Kobacker Hall at BGSU Moore Musical Arts Center. I'm hoping we have time for the song. I know, Alex, you brought along a singer with you who has what is, I think, probably the best possible name for a singer, and that is Aria Curzon, right?
Curzon, that's
Curzon,
right.
Yeah, and may I say it, Aria is your fiancée.
That's right, you may say it,
okay.
Absolutely.
Although you neglected to do the ceremony this morning. I offered, but you had other plans. That's okay. Aria, you're sitting over there. Are you up for singing us out?
Aria is from Los Angeles, California, and is a master of vocal techniques that we all would really love to possess ourselves. Yeah. It's an amazing transition to hear her go from operatic soprano to that of what you're about to hear, which is, she's most well-known for her voiceover as the role of Ducky from The Land Before Time.
Really?
Those are the movies that she's been most involved with for the last 20 years, and she is the voice, the actual voice, as you watch the movies. Maybe we can even get her to do that voice.
That's fantastic. I'm just going to turn over the rest of the show to y'all.
Thank you, Brad.
Go ahead. Okay, so Alex, still on guitar. Zach has got his violin. Aria has her voice. We're going to hear my daughter's favorite Christmas song. Needs no introduction here on Live from FM 91.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. I don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think Santa Claus will mind, do you? He won't have to use a dirty chimney flue. Just bring him in the front door, that's the easy thing to do. I can see me now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs. Oh, what joy and what surprise when I open up my eyes and see a hippo hero standing there. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. No crocodiles, no rhinoceroses. I only like hippopotamuses, and hippopotamuses like me too. I only like hippopotamuses, and hippopotamuses like me too.
Music to definitely put a big wide grin on all of our faces. We heard Aria Curzon singing I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't even know who wrote that song. Do you know who wrote the song?
I don't know who wrote it, but it was originally performed by Gayla Peavy, a little girl at the time.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful performance there. Along with Alex DePue and Zachary DePue, the DePue Brothers. They are performing a holiday spectacular Friday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m. Kobacker Hall at BGSU Moore Musical Arts Center. Also a 2 o'clock matinee. As we mentioned, just go online to Google and punch in DePue Brothers. You'll find all kinds of information, including probably a link to where to get tickets.
Yes, especially via Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook
okay.
is the place to
it's
go.
DePue Brothers Band
That's
on
right.
Facebook. Okay. Good to know. Well, gentlemen, that about wraps it up. I want to thank you all for coming in this morning and playing for us, performing for us. A lot of fun, wonderful performances, and we look forward to your spectacular coming up.
Thank you so much for having us, Brad.
Yes, thanks, Brad.
The broadcast engineer for Live from FM 81 is Chris Pfeiffer, who also handled our production mixing this morning. I'm your host, Brad Cresswell, and thank you for joining us today here on your public radio station, FM 91.